Hello friends. After our last blog on Bhutani matter, we had put out the contour plans in public domain requesting for opinion and suggestions from the professionals engineers, which we got. You might not see in the comment section, but we got it in our DMs. So we went through that. We thanked them for giving the opinions and suggestions. Now let me put you something about the facts of the matter in this Bhutani matter. To start off with, as far as the law component is concerned, what the law says, this we had read, this is as per TCP guidelines of 2023, which says that no development shall be permitted on land having slope of more than 25, which is 1:4 gradient. Similarly, this is the extract of Goa Land Development and Building Construction Regulation 2010. As per section regulation 12.3d, no part of the plot which is having an inclination of more than 25% slope shall be permitted for development as usable plots. Now here provision 12 is for regulation for subdivisions. So what TCP is saying is that this provision will not apply for building constructions. So it is only limited for subdivisions. So if gradient is more than 25, this provision will not apply. So you can construct. That is how the provision is getting interpreted by the Chief Town Planner Land Use. Then these are the TCP rules of 2022, which says in case of cutting of slopy land having gradient up to 1:4 in developable zones as per regional plan, outline development plan as the case may be, no development shall be permitted on a site having a slope of more than 25%. Now this is what the law stated as per various provisions of it, TCP Act, Regulations 2010, various rules and regulations. Now what the government submitted before the court in this particular matter, in this PIL, let us look at that. So in the High Court of Bombay at Goa, PIL writ petition number 1884 of 2024, Peter D'Souza and others versus Paramesh Construction Company and others. This was the note on behalf of state of Goa which was submitted by the state government to the court. Now in that, if you see contour lines, the definition as per Cambridge Dictionary was defined and some other details were given in this note. The section, the paragraph of our interest was paragraph 5, wherein gradient was listed down, described, and how the slope analysis of that particular property was done, was listed down. So let's go through that. Gradient calculation is done, a calculation is mentioned in this note. And now to mention here specifically that this calculation we had not seen in any of the rules, regulation, guidelines anywhere. But even then, this calculation, this is the practice what the TCP follows, it interprets that. Now let's go through what they say. Number of contour lines divided by horizontal length of the land into 100. So in the present case, they say number of contour lines as per CTP and PDA. CTP Chief Town Planner and PDA is Planning and Development Authority of Mormugao. So they are saying at the time of approval. Now these figures are important because this is there in the file notings also. So number of contour lines they found to be 42 and horizontal length of the land is 180 meters they are saying. So according to this formula, the gradient, the slope comes to 23.33 meters, 33%. So unit of measurement is in percentage. But if you look at the approved plan, here the cross section, section 1.1, the length is 186.65 meters and the height is of 43 meters. When we pointed this out to the court, the government came up with a justification, even as per that drawing they are saying, the findings which we pointed out, even if we consider that contour lines are 43 and horizontal length of the land is 186.65, which is there in the approved plan, the gradient comes to 23.03. Now here there are two difficulties, there are two concerns rather. One is, this is the approved plan, which according to CTP and PDA, they referred this, they didn't go to the site at that point of time. They referred this plan and then they thought, yes, this is an approved, acceptable slope, we can approve it. but the details which are mentioned in the plan are not as per their file noting. So what exactly did they refer to? So they had not relied on the genuine data and they approved this plan because the file notings and the approved plan do not tally. The second part to that, when they are saying that overall length and number of contour lines, so by and large what they are doing, they are averaging it out. So what happens when we average it out? This is a graphical representation which we presented to the court to say that if we adopt that methodology, it will defeat the very purpose of that TCP of the act, wherein the act says the slopes are to be protected and there are certain protection measures are listed down. Now how do we explain it to the court? So this is what we showed in a graphical representation. The red color line is the actual slope across. If you see the horizontal on that, it is starting from 0 meters to 24 meters. So from 0 to 8 meters, which is segment 1, the slope is 12.5%. From 8 meters to 16 meters, the slope is 50%. And from 16 meters to 24 meters, again the slope is 12.5%. But when you average it out, it comes to that blue dotted line to 25% slope. But if you see the red color line, segment to 8 meters to 16 meters, the slope is clearly beyond 25% up to 50%. With that formula, the problem is that none of the slopes, none of the hills in the state will be protected. Everything will be out for cutting, demolition, destruction. Even with respect to that particular contour plan, there is a reading right there on the approved plan which shows 3.2 meters. The ratio is 1:4. Anything below 4 becomes higher than 25% because 1 divided by 4 is 0.25 into 100 is 25%. 1 divided by 3.2 is 31.25%. So this portion, it is there marked on the approved plan. At least this portion is a non-development slope. Now how much percentage of that is a non-development slope? To put it across to the court, in another PIL, this graphical representation was presented, in which the red portion is slopes which are beyond 25%. The orange portion is the slopes between 20 to 25%, and the green is between 10 to 20%. So what TCP, the CTP and the PDA has done is that they have averaged out the green portion with the red portion and allowed the entire hill to be developable, to be cut. This is how they are applying engineering. And if this sustains, that is what we have been talking about, if this formula of theirs, gradient formula sustains, no hill in the state is a non-development slope. Big developers will come, purchase land on plateau or right up to the sea level, amalgamate it and average it out, showing that there are no hills in the state of Goa. And this was the risk which we tried to present to the court, but court ultimately had dismissed those PILs. We are still waiting for the detailed judgment, the detailed order on what basis our arguments has been rejected, not considered by the court. As and when the order is released, we will again come back to you. But till then, this is the risk and this is the type of destruction this chief town planner and TCP and the TCP minister is unleashing on the state of Goa. This is for your knowledge. Think about it. God bless. Thank you.